Unicorn Zombie Apocalypse.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Eco Talks with Sneha Manerikar. In last video, we have started second chapter of MCAER PhD CET syllabus, that is macroeconomics. In today's session, I will discuss important questions from theory of income and employment, both classical and Keynesian approach. In case if you have not watched previous videos, please watch them for better understanding of today's concepts. So let us start today's session with our first question. A situation when person is able and willing to take up a job and gets employed, it is called as A. Employment, B. Full employment, C. Underemployment, D. Unemployment. Answer is A. Employment. It is a situation where person is able to find job when he is willing to do the job. Next question. A situation when people are engaged in jobs but they do not get these jobs according to their capabilities, efficiency and qualification. It is called A. Employment, B. Full employment, C. Underemployment, D. Unemployment. Answer is C. Underemployment. It is situation where people get the job but those jobs are not in accordance with their capabilities and qualification. Next question. A situation when workers are willing to work under any condition and at any wage rate, but they fail to get employment. It is called A. Voluntary unemployment, B. Involuntary unemployment, C. Classical unemployment, D. Frictional unemployment. Answer is B. Involuntary unemployment. That is situation where people are willing to work but they do not get the work. Next question. A temporary unemployment which exists during the period of transfer of labor from one occupation to another is called A. Voluntary unemployment, B. Involuntary unemployment, C. Cyclical unemployment, D. Frictional unemployment. Answer is D. Frictional employment. It is a situation where unemployment exists because of transfer of labor from one occupation to other occupation. Next question. When more workers are engaged in a work than actually required, it is called A. Voluntary unemployment, B. Involuntary unemployment, C. Disguised unemployment, D. Frictional unemployment. Answer is C. Disguised unemployment. It is situation where more workers are engaged than actually required. Here I have given different definitions of various concepts like employment, full employment, underemployment, then types of unemployment like involuntary unemployment, voluntary unemployment, cyclical unemployment, technological unemployment, frictional unemployment, structural unemployment and disguised unemployment. These definitions are very important from point of view of exam. Next question is, who developed the classical theory of income and employment? A. J.B. Say, B. J.S. Mill, C. Ricardo, D. All of the above. Answer is all of the above. The J.B. Say, J.S. Mill and Ricardo. These three economists have developed the theory of classical theory of income and employment. And next question. The supply creates its own demand. This famous law of A. Market, that is Say's law of market, B. Demand, C. Supply, D. None of the above. Answer is A. Market, that is Say's law of market. It states that supply creates its own demand. Our next question is, Keynesian theory of employment is based on concept of A. Aggregate demand, B. Aggregate supply, C. Aggregate demand and supply, D. None. Answer is C. Aggregate demand and supply. Let me explain you the concepts of aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Aggregate supply refers to total demands of goods and services in the economy in a year. It is the total expenditure of the community. It is given as consumption demand plus investment demand. Whereas aggregate supply refers to money value of all goods and services produced in a country in a year. It is nothing but a national income of the country. It is given as consumption plus saving. And next question, the investment which is undertaken independently of level of income is known as A. Autonomous investment, B. Induced investment, C. Public investment, D. Private investment. Answer is A. Autonomous investment. It is investment which is independent of level of income. Whereas induced investment, it is dependent on level of income. And next question, the components of aggregate demand is A. Household consumption expenditure, B. Government final consumption expenditure, C. Private and public investment expenditure, D. All. Answer is all. The components of aggregate demand will be household consumption expenditure, government consumption expenditure, private and public investment expenditure. Our next question, determination of equilibrium of an economy can be studied by A. Equality of aggregate demand and aggregate supply, B. Equality of saving and investment, C. Both A and B, D. None. Answer is C. Both A and B. Equilibrium condition can be studied by aggregate demand and aggregate supply, and also saving and investment. Our next question is, JB say transform the equality of total output and total spending into a law that can be expressed as A. Unemployment is not possible in short run, B. Demand and supply are never equal, C. Supply creates its own demand, D. Demand creates its own supply. Answer is C. Supply creates its own demand. This is the famous law given by J.B. Say. Our next question is, the classical economists argued that production of goods and services generates an equal amount of total income and in turn total spending. This theory is called A. Keynes general theory, B. Say's law, C. The animal spirits theory, D. The law of autonomous consumption. Answer is B. Say's law. Say's law states the condition where supply generates equal amount of total income, that is total spending. Our next question is, which of the following statement is true about Say's law? A. It states that supply creates its own demand. B. It states that demand creates its own supply. C. It states that total output will always exceed total spending. D. It states that consumption spending is most volatile component of aggregate expenditure. Answer is A. Say's law states that supply creates its own demand. Our next question is, the school of thought that emphasizes the natural tendency of an economy to move towards equilibrium, full employment without inflation is known as A. Keynesian school, B. Supply side school, C. Rational expectations school, D. Classical school. Answer is D. Classical school. They assume that the economy will be in equilibrium without any inflation. And next question, according to Keynes, what is the most important determinant of household spending on goods and services? A. Price level, B. The interest rate, C. Autonomous consumption, D. Disposable income. Answer is D. Disposable income. It is the important determinant of household spending. Our next question is, the consumption function shows the relationship between consumer expenditure and A. Interest rate, B. The tax rate, C. Saving, D. Disposable income. Answer is D. Disposable income. Consumption function gives the relationship between consumer expenditure and his disposable income. Our next question is, which of the following statement is true concerning the consumption function? A. Its slope upwards, B. Its slope equals to marginal propensity to consume, C. It represents the direct relationship between consumption spending and level of real disposable income, D. All of the above. Answer is D. All of the above. You can see the consumption function curve shown here. You can see here the slope of consumption function is upward, that is from left to right. The slope is equal to marginal propensity to consume, and consumption function gives the direct relationship between consumption expenditure and income, and the intercept of consumption function curve is nothing but the autonomous consumption, which is independent of level of income. Our next question is, the consumption function shows the relationship between consumption and A. interest rate, B. saving, C. price level, and D. disposable income. Answer is D. disposable income. Our next question is, at point where disposable income line intersects the consumption function, saving will be A equal to consumption, B equals disposable income, is less than 0, is equal to 0. Answer is D equal to 0, because when disposable income is equal to consumption, there will be no income left for saving. Therefore, the saving will be 0. That's all about today's session. I hope you understood all the concepts clearly. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in comments or message me on my Telegram group EcoTalks. The result of first weekly quiz will be declared in the next video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.